The lights of the stage glow softly as the audience settles into their seats, the familiar atmosphere of anticipation filling the air. This is one of those moments where anything can happen, where dreams can rise or fall in just a few minutes. Welcome back to another unforgettable story where talent meets destiny, where emotions take over logic, and where even the toughest judges are reminded why music has the power to change everything. If you love real moments, raw emotion, and stories that stay with you long after the screen fades to black, then you are in the right place. Today's story is not just about a performance. It is about a moment that stopped time, a voice that crossed oceans, and a judge who has seen it all, yet still found himself unable to hold back his tears. This is the story of Simon Cowell and the Filipino singer who stunned the world. Simon Cowell is not a man easily impressed. For decades, he has been known as the judge with the sharpest tongue, the most honest criticism, and the highest standards. From pop idols to global superstars, Simon has helped shape the modern music industry. He has said no to thousands of hopeful singers and yes to only a few who truly had something special. When Simon sits behind the judge's desk, people listen. When he reacts emotionally, the world pays attention. On this particular night, the atmosphere feels different. There is a quiet tension in the air, the kind that cannot be explained but can be felt. The contestant walks onto the stage with humble steps, carrying not just a dream, but the weight of a nation behind him. A Filipino singer, representing a country known for its deep love of music, powerful voices, and emotional storytelling. He greets the judges politely, his accent warm and sincere. There is no arrogance, no exaggerated confidence. Just calm respect and quiet determination. Simon Cowell looks up from his notes. He has heard thousands of introductions like this before. Yet something about this moment makes him pause. Perhaps it is the singer's eyes, filled with both hope and fear. Perhaps it is the way he stands, grounded yet vulnerable. Simon leans back slightly, ready to listen, but not expecting what is about to happen. The music begins. From the very first note, the room changes. The singer's voice carries a depth that feels ancient, as if it comes from generations of stories, struggles, and resilience. It is not just technically strong, it is emotionally alive. Each phrase feels intentional, each breath controlled yet natural. The audience, which moments ago was whispering and shifting in their seats, falls completely silent. Simon's expression changes almost immediately. His eyes narrow slightly, not in judgment, but in focus. This is the look he gets when something rare appears. He sits forward, elbows resting on the desk, fully engaged. The voice on stage is not trying to impress. It is not showing off. It is simply telling a story, and that story feels real. As the performance continues, the singer's confidence grows. The notes soar higher, yet remain controlled. The emotion deepens, pulling everyone in. Some audience members begin to wipe their eyes. Others place a hand over their mouth, surprised by the power coming from one person standing alone on a massive stage. Simon Cowell has heard legends sing. He has worked with icons. Yet in this moment, his usual armor begins to crack. His eyes glisten slightly. He blinks more often than usual. For those who know Simon, this is already extraordinary. The performance reaches its most powerful moment. The singer pours everything into his voice, not forcing it, but releasing it. It feels honest, almost fragile, yet incredibly strong. This is not just singing. This is sharing a piece of the soul. When the final note fades, there is a brief moment of silence. That rare kind of silence where no one knows how to react because words feel too small. Then, the audience erupts. Cheers, applause, people standing on their feet. The energy is overwhelming. Simon Cowell remains seated for a second longer than everyone else. He looks down, takes a breath, and then looks back up at the singer. His eyes are visibly wet. He does not rush to speak. When he finally does, his voice is softer than usual. He begins by acknowledging how difficult it is to truly move him. He explains that he has spent his entire career listening to singers from all over the world, and that moments like this are incredibly rare. He tells the singer that what he just did was not just a performance, but an experience. Then comes the moment that shocks everyone. Simon compares the singer to Freddie Aguilar. For those who understand the weight of this comparison, it is massive. Freddie Aguilar is a legendary Filipino musician, known for his powerful voice, meaningful lyrics, and songs that speak to the soul of the Filipino people. To be mentioned in the same breath, let alone be told that one might even surpass such a legend, is almost unimaginable. Simon looks directly at the singer and says, with complete sincerity, that in this moment, what he heard felt even stronger. Even more emotionally connected. Even more unforgettable. The audience gasps. The other judges exchange looks of disbelief. The singer's eyes widen, his hands shaking slightly. Tears begin to form in his eyes as he tries to process what he has just heard. Simon pauses again, clearly emotional. He admits that the performance touched him personally. That it reminded him why music matters. Why he continues to sit at that desk year after year. Why he believes in taking risks on real talent. For a man known for brutal honesty, this level of vulnerability is rare. Simon Cowell, the man who has built a reputation on being unbreakable, is openly emotional on live television. The singer thanks the judges, his voice trembling. He speaks about his journey, about growing up surrounded by music, about dreaming of moments like this while never truly believing they would happen. He dedicates the performance to his family, to his country, and to everyone who believes that dreams have no borders. As the judges continue to give their feedback, the praise remains consistent. They talk about the singer's control, his authenticity, and his ability to connect without needing spectacle. There are no dancers, no fireworks, no tricks. Just a voice and a story. But it is Simon's reaction that becomes the defining moment of the night. Clips of the performance spread rapidly across social media. Viewers from around the world react with disbelief. Comments pour in from fans who say they have never seen Simon Cowell like this before. Others express pride, especially from the Filipino community, who see this moment as global recognition of their culture's musical heritage. The video racks up millions of views in days. Reaction channels analyze every second. Music experts break down the technical aspects of the performance, while everyday listeners talk about how it made them feel. Many say they cried along with Simon. Many say they replayed the performance multiple times. Simon later speaks about the moment in interviews. He explains that he did not plan to say what he said. That it came from a genuine emotional reaction. He emphasizes that when someone moves him to that level, he believes it should be acknowledged honestly. He talks about how talent can come from anywhere. That greatness does not belong to one country, one culture, or one background. That sometimes, the most powerful voices come from places the world has not fully listened to. Yet, for the singer, life changes overnight. Invitations, interviews, and opportunities begin to appear. But more importantly, he gains confidence. The kind of confidence that comes not from fame, but from knowing that his voice matters. This moment becomes more than a viral clip. It becomes a symbol. A reminder that authenticity still wins. That emotion still matters. That even in a world obsessed with perfection, raw truth can still break through. Simon Cowell often says that he looks for moments he cannot forget. Moments that stay with him long after the cameras stop rolling. This is one of those moments. The image of Simon, eyes filled with tears, listening quietly to a Filipino singer pouring his heart out on stage, becomes iconic. It is shared, replayed, and remembered not because of drama, but because of honesty. In the end, this story is not just about a comparison to a legend. It is about respect, about recognition, about the universal language of music connecting two people from completely different worlds. A singer walks onto a stage with a dream. A judge listens with an open heart. And the world witnesses a moment that reminds us all why we believe in talent, in courage, and in the power of a single voice to change everything. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of the magic that can happen when passion meets opportunity, then stay connected for more moments like this. Because somewhere out there, another voice is waiting to be heard, and another unforgettable moment is just one note away. The night does not end when the cameras stop rolling. In fact, that is when the real impact of the moment truly begins. Backstage, the singer sits quietly, still trying to understand what just happened. His hands are cold, his heart is racing, and his mind keeps replaying Simon Cowell's words again and again. "You are better than Freddie Aguilar." Those words feel unreal, almost too heavy to carry. He bows his head for a moment, whispering a prayer of gratitude, thinking about his parents, his childhood home, the long nights of practicing, and the countless times he doubted himself. Simon Cowell, meanwhile, remains at the judge's table longer than usual. Crew members move around, adjusting lights and cables, but Simon stays still. He knows he has just witnessed something special. Over the years, he has learned to trust his instincts, and this instinct feels undeniable. This was not just a good audition. This was one of those rare moments that reminds him why he built his life around music. Later that evening, Simon is seen speaking quietly with producers. He is still emotional, his voice calmer now but filled with conviction. He tells them that moments like this cannot be manufactured. You cannot script real emotion. You cannot fake that kind of connection. It either happens or it does not. And tonight, it happened. Across the world, the performance continues to spread. In the Philippines, families gather around phones and televisions, replaying the clip again and again. Some parents call their children into the room, telling them to listen closely. "This is what it means to sing from the heart," they say. "This is what it means to represent your roots with pride." Young singers watch with wide eyes. For many of them, this moment feels personal. It tells them that their dreams are valid, that their voices matter, even if they come from small towns or humble beginnings. Social media fills with messages of pride, tears, and inspiration. People talk about how the singer did not try to sound like anyone else. He did not chase trends. He simply stayed true to himself. Music teachers analyze the performance, pointing out the control, the phrasing, the emotional timing. But even they admit that technical analysis only explains part of it. The rest is something deeper, something that cannot be taught. Soul. Simon Cowell later reflects on this in an interview. He explains that over time, you become very good at spotting talent, but even better at spotting authenticity. He says that the most dangerous mistake an artist can make is trying to be someone else. The singer that night did the opposite. He embraced who he was, where he came from, and what he felt. He also speaks about Freddie Aguilar, acknowledging the immense legacy and influence he holds. Simon makes it clear that his words were not meant to diminish a legend, but to highlight how powerful the performance felt in that moment. Music, he says, is about how it makes you feel right now. And right then, he felt something extraordinary. For the singer, the days that follow feel like a whirlwind. Interviews come one after another. Journalists ask him how it feels to make Simon Cowell cry. He answers humbly, always redirecting the praise back to music itself. He says music has always been his way of expressing what words cannot. He says he hopes his journey encourages others to believe in themselves. Behind the scenes, he calls his family often. His voice breaks when he talks to his parents. They remind him to stay grounded, to remember why he started singing in the first place. Not for fame, not for applause, but for love. As the competition progresses, every performance is watched more closely now. Expectations rise, pressure increases, but so does confidence. The singer understands that one moment does not define a career, but it can open a door. What matters is what you do after that door opens. Simon Cowell continues to watch carefully. He offers guidance when needed, but never tries to change the singer's essence. He knows that what made that first performance special was honesty. And honesty cannot be forced. Fans notice that Simon seems more protective, more invested. Not controlling, but genuinely supportive. It is the kind of mentorship that comes from respect, not authority. Simon has seen too many artists lose themselves trying to fit into a mold. He does not want that to happen here. As weeks go by, the original audition clip continues to resurface. New viewers discover it every day. Some say they clicked out of curiosity. Others say they stayed because they felt something real. Many admit they cried without fully understanding why. This is the quiet power of music. It does not ask for permission. It does not explain itself. It simply arrives, touches something deep inside, and leaves a mark. Simon Cowell once said that success in music is not about having the loudest voice or the biggest range. It is about truth. About making people feel less alone. About creating moments that live beyond the stage. That night, a Filipino singer did exactly that. Years from now, people may forget scores, rankings, or even winners. But they will remember this moment. The night Simon Cowell, a man known for his toughness, allowed himself to be vulnerable. The night a voice crossed borders and reminded the world that talent knows no boundaries. And somewhere, perhaps in a small room, another young singer picks up a microphone, inspired by a story they once watched online. Inspired by the belief that if you sing from your heart, the world will listen. Because sometimes, all it takes is one song, one stage, and one honest moment to change everything.